Anthony Gaspipe Casso, one of the most ruthless and feared mobsters in the history of the American Mafia. A man whose name struck terror into both his enemies and allies. From humble beginnings to a meteoric rise through the ranks of the Lucchese crime family, Casso's life is a tale of violence, betrayal, and ultimate downfall. This is the story of the man they called Gaspipe. Anthony Salvatore Casso was born on May 21st, 1942, in Brooklyn, New York, to a working-class Italian-American family. His father was a longshoreman, and young Anthony grew up surrounded by the culture of the docks, a world where hard work mixed with the influence of organized crime. From an early age, Casso was exposed to the allure of the Mafia. Like many young men in Brooklyn at the time, Anthony was drawn to the power and respect commanded by the local mobsters. By his late teens, he was working as an enforcer for the Lucchese crime family, a position that suited his natural toughness and street smarts. It was during this time that Casso earned his infamous nickname, Gaspipe. Some say it came from his father. Others believe it referred to his preferred weapon for intimidation. Whatever the origin, the name stuck, and so did Casso's reputation for brutality. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, Casso worked his way up through the ranks of the Lucchese family. He proved himself time and again as a loyal and effective soldier, specializing in loan sharking, extortion, and contract killings. But it wasn't just his violence that set him apart. Casso had a sharp mind for business. He helped the Lucchese family expand their operations, raking in millions from construction scams, narcotics, and racketeering. One of Casso's most lucrative schemes was the Mafia's control over New York City's construction industry. Through bribery, intimidation, and strategic alliances, Casso and his associates rigged bids and took a cut of nearly every major construction project in the city. It was a racket worth millions and further cemented his power within the organization. As Casso rose in power, so too did his body count. By the 1980s, he was one of the most feared hitmen in the Mafia, allegedly involved in over 36 murders. Casso didn't just order hits, he often carried them out himself, earning a reputation for his hands-on approach to eliminating enemies. But his most shocking actions were yet to come. Casso's ruthlessness extended beyond the streets. In one of the darkest chapters of his career, he struck a deal with two NYPD detectives, Luis Ippolito and Stephen Caracappa. These Mafia Cops, as they would later be known, provided Casso with inside information, including the whereabouts of informants and rival mobsters. With their help, Casso orchestrated murders and protected his empire. It was a chilling example of how far his influence reached. But power comes with enemies, and the 1980s brought a wave of federal investigations targeting organized crime. The Lucchese family was hit hard, and Casso's position became increasingly precarious. By the early 1990s, he was facing charges for murder, racketeering, and conspiracy. In 1993, after a brief period on the run, Casso was captured by federal agents. Facing life in prison, Casso made a shocking decision. He became a government informant. In exchange for a reduced sentence, he agreed to testify against his former associates, providing the FBI with invaluable insights into the inner workings of the Mafia. But Casso's cooperation was short-lived. His erratic behavior and lies during his testimony led to his removal from the Witness Protection Program, leaving him to face the full weight of his crimes. Casso would spend the rest of his life in prison, a shadow of the powerful mobster he once was. In December 2020, Anthony Gaspipe Casso died in federal custody due to complications from COVID-19. He was 78 years old. Anthony Casso's life was a testament to the dark allure of power. He rose through violence, built an empire of fear, and ultimately betrayed everything and everyone he once stood for. His story serves as a grim reminder of the cost of a life spent in the Mafia, where loyalty is fleeting and betrayal is inevitable. This was the life of Anthony Gaspipe Casso, a legacy of blood, betrayal, and the fall of one of the most feared men in Mafia history.